presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackboard.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, the Tigers' comeback win over the Twins yesterday had a little bit of everything. Some clutch hitting, a little bit of controversy, and in the end, the Tigers would come away with a victory. It would be their 7th consecutive win against the Minnesota Twins. It is an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball. We're here in the Motor City tonight, downtown Detroit. Game 2 in this series featuring the Twins and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us tonight for Game 2 in the series. Rod Allen will join us in just a minute. Now, Jim Leyland is always saying that if you want to win a division, you've got to beat the teams within your division. Well, the Tigers have taken that to heart, especially against these Minnesota Twins. When you look at the numbers over the last 7 meetings between these two teams, the Tigers have won all 7. How have they done it? Well, certainly the offense has been very good. They have averaged just about 9 runs per game, but to me, the pitching sticks out. The overall ERA for the Tigers much better than the Twins, especially the starting pitching, a 3.92 ERA, and the hope is those numbers will continue again here tonight. Stay with us. Starting lineups right around the corner. Right now, we send you back to the Call Sam Studios, and here's Mickey York. In on a warm night for baseball here in the Motor City. We are glad to have you with us. We check out the starting lineups now for the Minnesota Twins first. They are presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Denard Span leads it off. He'll play in center field. Alexi Casilla, then Justin Morneau. The right fielder Michael Kadire is batting cleanup today. Jason Kubel is out of the lineup. Jim Thome, the DH. Valencia third, Young, Rivera, and Tolbert are your bottom three. The scouting report on Max Scherzer is presented by Ace Hardware.
Well, after winning his first 6 decisions this year as a Tiger, he has lost his last 2. So Max needs to get back on track. And one of the ways to do that is make adjustments very early in the game if you need to do so. And you also need a little better fastball command with that 95-mile-per-hour heater that he has.
And so Max is set to go to work. It is 89 degrees here at game time tonight. Very warm afternoon here in the Motor City. That has turned into a warm evening. And the first pitch of the ball game is high and away to Denard Span. Alexi Casilla will follow, and then Justin Morneau. .295 average for Span so far this year. And while he has typically had really good numbers against the Tigers in his career, this year they've slowed him down. Well, maybe that's why the Tigers have beaten the Twins every game so far this season. There's a strike called as Paul Emmel goes up with the right hand, 1-2.
As a matter of fact, they've beaten him. The Tigers have beaten them 7 straight times going back to last year.
Span at .356, highest career among actives, career batting average. Vladimir on that list, Billy Butler. The usual suspects. 1-2, the count stays on Denard Span. Max Scherzer trying to shake off a couple of rocky starts, get back to his winning ways, in which he started the season 6-0. Now 6-2. He's ready with the 1-2 pitch. And it missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boston Red Sox, they ambushed Scherzer 5 days ago. 7 earned runs in just 2 innings pitched. Also walked a couple.
His ERA jumped from 2.98 to 3.86 with the 7 earned runs. Swing and a miss, and down goes Denard Span.
If you want to be a successful pitcher, you have to disrupt the timing of the hitter, and he sped his bat up with good fastballs. Then he slowed him down with a really good changeup.
By the way, if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and score yourself a free small order of curly fries. So here is Alexi Casilla now with 1 out.
He can bunt, and he's fast.
Slaps this one in the air to center. Jackson coming over.
He can't make any money up there.
2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively, as always, presented by the fine folks at Beaumont Hospitals. You know Jackson's in center. In left is Rayburn. It's Wells in right. Infield Peralta. I should say, Peralta, Worth, and Cabrera. Victor Martinez is catching tonight here. And you know Max is on the mound.
Here is Justin Morneau. Morneau yesterday had an RBI, was 0 for 3. The hits just keep on coming for the Twins. They've had so many guys out. They recently put Liriano on the DL. We know that Mauer has been out. Young has been out. And they lost Kubel yesterday, although he's not on the DL. Sprained his foot, so he's not playing tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Morneau, who is playing but has battled a myriad of injuries this year. Not to mention trying to come back from really a lost offseason with the concussion. Strike called on the outer edge, 1-2. Paul Emmel has the quickest strike call in the history of the world.
Really?
He just that right hand out there and strike. That's it. Some guys like to drag it out. Pulled on the right side on the backhand, Danny Worth. 1-2-3 inning, good start for Max Scherzer. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Start here this evening for Jim Leyland. The Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy. Wells batting in the 2-hole. Jackson leads it off. Bosch will bat third. Cabrera cleaning up. The rest of the lineup has Martinez and Peralta. And then Inge, Rayburn out in left tonight. And then Danny Wirth playing second base. The Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Brian Dunsing. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
And Dunsing, one of those guys that likes to work very quickly while on the mound. So some of the Tigers will have to slow him down by calling timeout. Also has 4 pitches, fastball, curve, slider, and the changeup. And he has a 5-game losing streak as we speak. So Dunsing is streaking in the wrong way.
And Jackson leading it off 1 for 3 in the opening game of the series yesterday. 1 ball, 1 strike on Austin. Jackson at 223 right now. Here's Dunsing's 1-1. Dunsing is out of Marysville, Kansas. 6 feet 207. Pitched collegiately at Nebraska. Here's the 1-2. Now Nebraska's such a big football school. The thing is, Dunsing is from Kansas. He grew up a big Kansas State fan. So that must have been an adjustment to him. I mean, obviously you got to support your school.
No question about that.
Change your allegiance, I suppose. 1-2 on Jackson. And a wave and a miss, and Austin goes down 1 away. Dunsing has his first strikeout.
Let's take a look at the Minnesota Twins defensively in this ball game tonight. It's Young, Span, and Kadire in the outfield. Valencia, Tolbert, Casilla in the infield with Morneau. Behind the plate, it's Rivera for the second consecutive day. That's always presented by Tim Horton.
So here is Wells batting in the 2 spot. We've often talked about how Jim Leyland likes a little bit of punch in that 2-hole, and tonight Wells is getting an opportunity. Casper yesterday was 0 for 1. Maybe one of the reasons Jim has him up there. He's 4 for 7 against Dunsing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 from Dunsing. 2-1 the count. Dunsing had a pretty good year last year. He was 10-3 with a 2.62 ERA. He made most of his appearances out of the bullpen, but they inserted him into the rotation in July, and he kind of took off. Pitched very well. It's pulled on the ground to short. Tolbert. 2 gone.
I think you'll see Tolbert play most of the right-handed hitters exactly where he was playing Casper Wells. And when you have a left-hander on the mound that's not overpowering, the natural tendency for the right-handed batters is to get out in front of the breaking balls and change-ups away, and they usually hit it right to the shortstop.
2 gone. Here is Bosch. For 4, but he had an RBI in yesterday's game. Bosch driving 1 in with a ground out in the very first inning. The Tigers, and when you look at that game yesterday, they manufactured a couple of runs. They also had some great defense, a diving play by Don Kelly out in left field to end the game.
And the big boys played long ball. Don't forget about them.
Yeah, and that's a pretty complete game.
Valverde, real nice at the back end of the game. Pretty good game all around.
Now the 0-1. Bosch right now with 4 home runs. He's knocked in 23. His May has not nearly been as good as his April was, but Bosch is still overall with solid numbers. 1-2. And really, Jim has stayed with him for the most part in the 3 spot in the lineup.
I don't think they have anybody else that could really hit there.
Well, that's a good point. There are the splits April and May. 319 the first month of the year.
Jim likes his speed at the top of the lineup. He could score from first base on a double into the gap by Cabrera. He could move Johnny Peralta up there. He could tinker with Avila as well if he chose to do so. But I think he likes those guys batting where they do bat when they play.
And he could also do something that a lot of the writers have brought up many times, and that's to bat Cabrera third, but that's just not his philosophy, which you respect. He likes having his big fella batting cleanup. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Way high, and that thing ping-pongs off the glove of the catcher Rivera. 2-2 on Bosch. Just underway on a steamy night here in the Motor City. 89 degrees. A little bit of a breeze blowing as well. Swing and a miss. Down he goes, and Dunsing has a 1-2-3 inning. That's his second strikeout of the game. To the second we go. No score. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. By Jeep Brand, now celebrating 70 years of legendary heritage. And by Arby's. Stop by today and try the Market Fresh grilled chicken and pecan salad sandwich. Skipper signing some autographs before the game here today. It is a scoreless ball game as we go to the second, and Michael Kadire leading it off.
Skipper got a bubblegum card?
Well, I'm sure he's got a few. Mostly manager's cards, obviously. Skipper in his playing days just played in the minor leagues.
They have minor league cards too.
Did they have them back then? I didn't mean it that way, Skip.
You said it.
And I'm sure that's going to get back to him too. 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Kadire goes down very quickly. Scherzer has his second K.
It's a high piece of cheese there. Look at that ball run in on Kadire at 96 miles an hour. And that's the difference. And when you've got 96 and you've got some movement, you can get some swings and misses. I noticed the skipper had an iPad on his desk.
No.
Did you see that? I'm serious.
No.
A couple days ago, I looked on his desk. He had an iPad.
Dude, he just got a computer like a month ago, and he's been here forever.
No. I saw an iPad.
Really? Well, he's kicking into the technology age then. Which is impressive because Jim has been unabashed about his lack of computer skills. Tomey pops it up, shallow left. And Inge back to the grass, 2 gone. Now, the question was he using the...
Nope, it was closed.
Okay. It might have just been a prop. 2 outs, and here is Danny Valencia. Good start for Scherzer. 5 up, 5 down. Valencia at 230. Had a double in yesterday's ball game and finished up 1 for 4. And he hits a soft liner to left. That's the first hit of the game. It's going to roll by the left fielder Rayburn to the wall. And Valencia will get to second base with a 2-out double. Didn't look like it was hit extremely hard, but it picked up some gas as it hit the turf.
It must have. Rayburn also looked like he was kind of fooled by the way the ball was hit because it cut straight across. And then you saw him take a different angle to try to get the ball and not able to flag it down. Initially straight across, then he realized this ball's got a little steam on it.
2-out, 2-base hit for Valencia. That'll bring up Delman Young. And he hits one right back up the middle into center. Jackson charging it. Here comes Valencia. They try and score him. The throw from Jackson is not in time. It gets by the catcher Martinez, and to second base goes Delman Young. So just like that, a 2-out run in quick fashion for Minnesota.
And Delman Young was money for the Minnesota Twins last year. He drove in over 100 runs, and he was outstanding with runners in scoring position. That ball is whistled right back up the box. Pretty good throw by Jackson toward home plate. Victor tried to block the plate with his left foot, but not before Valencia slides in safely.
Young gets his 11th RBI after knocking in 112 last year. So Valencia, by getting to second base, is able to get a run in. Here is Rene Rivera, Twins catcher. And he is batting in the 8th spot in the lineup for Minnesota. The Minnesota Twins this year have 17 wins, and in 15 of their victories they have scored first. And they've gotten their first run here tonight.
They've been playing a lot of close games this year. 51 of their games have been decided by 2 runs or fewer. No difference in yesterday's game. They are 14-17 in those contests. Ron Gardenhire said on Tigers Live today his team's playing hard, though, and playing much better baseball lately.
Wave and a miss, 1-1.
And he said that's the one thing that we can do. He said we can continue to work hard. We're going to continue to work hard, and we'll get better.
Well, I'm not sure playing all those close games actually tells a story. Is there a reason for that? Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Well, no clutch hitting. And obviously they're losing some games in the bullpen this year that they have not lost the last couple of years when they had really good bullpens.
Here's the 1-1. That's skied in the air to center. Routine play for Jackson. And that is that for Minnesota. They get a couple of 2-out hits. They strand a man. It's 1-0 Minnesota.
Tickets are on sale now with groups of 15 or more receiving discount tickets to select games. Call 313-471-BALL or you can visit Tigers.com. I'm all for a picnic and a party.
Absolutely. Now that area out there by the statues, that's one of my favorite areas of this ballpark, just to kind of hang out there and watch the game. A little bit of a different view. As Cabrera stands in and swings on the first pitch and hits a bomb to center field, but it's not going to be deep enough. 420 out there, one gone.
Home run in most ballparks in the American League, and where the distance to center field is only 400 feet on average.
The cabbie almost hit one out to the statues out there. That'll bring up Victor Martinez. Dunsing got the Tigers 1-2-3 in the first. He struck out a couple of the Detroit batters. Victor at 298. Had a big home run in yesterday's game to help bring the Tigers back. 5 long balls this year. And when Victor signed here, Rod, there was no doubt that he was going to DH a lot. He was told that he was going to catch every now and then, but the DHing has not bothered him at all for some reason. He's at 354 as a DH.
Hitting from both sides obviously aids Victor Martinez in being very productive as a DH.
So many hitters just do not like to DH. There are his splits from the left and right side.
He was outstanding last year as well against left-handed pitching.
The 1-1.
But if you look at Adam Dunn in Chicago, he has not gotten a hit this year against left-handed pitching. Have you seen his numbers?
They're quite striking.
Man, we do know that the pitching is better in the American League than it is in the National League.
But is it that much better?
Well, it's better. I don't know how much better, but it is better.
2-2 on Martinez.
They've got some good guys over in that league, don't get me wrong, but they got some really premium number ones over in this league.
The 2-2 is a bouncing ball to second base. Easy play there for Casilla, and Victor is out, 2 gone.
Take a look at some of these guys that are struggling this year. I mean, obviously Morneau is here with just 17 RBIs. He's a perennial MVP candidate every year, but Longoria and Dunn and Ugla and Wells, we're 2 months in.
Well, Dunn really, he was one of the prize possessions that everybody wanted in the offseason. He's batting 181. We just saw Longoria, and you documented the fact that he just seems like he's in between right now.
And we didn't have enough room for all the guys. Sean Figgins is still hitting under 200 in Seattle.
Johnny Peralta's not having much trouble this year, having a really good start.
Johnny's playing like he wants to go to the All-Star game out in Arizona. He has been pretty much the best offensive shortstop in this league this year. And the numbers kind of back him up on that.
The only American League shortstop that has a better average is Eric Ibar at 308. Much better numbers this year, as you can see. He'll shoot that one down the line and right. It's going to drop. Fair ball.
Stop it, Johnny.
Johnny taking the turn, going for 2, and he'll get in there, sliding with a double.
I was joking with Johnny on the field today, and he was talking about that play yesterday when he scored from first base. He said that weather, it got him loose, and he said he didn't even see his feet, he said, when he was running around the base pass, and obviously he had a nice smile on his face. But doubles are made out of the batter's box, and Johnny was thinking 2 as soon as he left the box, and he was able to get there with a slide. Johnny got in better shape in the offseason. He's even moving better this year than he moved last year after we made the deal for him.
Brandon Inge has moved up in the lineup. He's batting in the 7 hole. And maybe part of the reason is his success against Dunsing. He's batting 353 against him. He's got a chance now to drive in a 2-out run. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brandon Inge. There you go, 6 for 17 against Brian Dunsing. A couple of guys in this lineup that had good numbers against him. Casper Wells. Here's the 1-1. Dunsing started the season in their bullpen last year, moved to the rotation when Nick Blackburn was hurt, and he gave them some nice starts. Here's the 2-1. 2-2 now on Brandon Inge. Peralta's 2-out, 2-base hit has put the tying run on here in the second. Ryan Rayburn on deck. And the 2-2. A little high, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Dunsing not afraid to do that. And he's not afraid to throw a strike on the inner third of the plate. Most left-handers that are overpowering will simply try to show you that fastball inside to set up the changeup with a breaking ball away, but he is not afraid to even double up with his fastball inside.
And the 3-2. He lost it, ball 4. That'll put 2 Tigers aboard. And the first walk for Dunsing.
Don't know for sure, excuse me, partner, but Dunsing knows that Brandon Inge has had some success against him. With the base open and 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, he really didn't give Brandon a whole lot to hit because he knows Ryan Rayburn has been struggling the first couple of months of the year trying to find his way.
Yeah, Ryan right now is 5 for his last 54, and right now batting $196.
He had a base hit in yesterday's game to right field. He needs to do a little bit more of that, and once he starts to do that a little bit more frequently, then his numbers will perk up.
I was talking to Ryan the other day and how he can bust out of this slump, and he was talking about something that you've mentioned over and over. It's kind of like putting a hammer in your hand and hammering down. He used the analogy, I've got to chop some wood.
Yep,
you know,
yep.
That's the same concept.
Yep, no question.
But it always seems to just be a feel, and once you get that feel, then you can get on a little bit of a roll. He just hadn't been able to get it.
He's got to get started a little earlier with his hands. He's been slow to load with his hands. And when you're slow to load with your hands, and then you're not able to get down through the baseball to simulate, you know, a hammer in your hand or chopping wood because you're late and you're trying to catch up, the back shoulder drops and you swing underneath the ball because you're rushing on the majority of your swings. It's all about timing.
And Lloyd's been working overtime, trying to get him straightened out. Here's the 0-2. You know, speaking of hitting coaches, and I know that Lloyd, and he's trying to be as helpful and as encouraging as possible. And you've been a hitting coach. You live and die with these guys as well.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, you go home at night, and when guys don't have success, you take it personal. Especially a guy like a Rayburn, who was so good last year, the second half of the season. They're trying to find that again. They know it's there. They're just trying to recapture it.
2 on, 2 out here in the second. 1-0 Minnesota. And the 0-2. Pulled down the left field line, foul.
Try to catch that thing?
Hope not.
It's a pretty good load there by Rayburn. You saw he got his hands out in front, but that ball was tailing in on him, and he wasn't able to keep it fair, but the timing was pretty good there.
He fouled it off on a check swing. Explain what you mean again by load. That, I assume, has to do with his hands.
Well, when you're in the batter's box, they call it loading. Your hands go back and your front foot ever so slightly goes forward. Once your front foot lands, now you've got a firm base and your hands have gone back, and that allows you to generate bat speed. Foot down, bat comes through the strike zone. So many times, if your foot's in the air, you're not going to generate bat speed if you've started your swing while your front foot's in the air.
1-2.
It's called separation. It's called loading up.
Well, Rayburn has 15 RBIs, an opportunity to tie this one up at the very least, as Rivera walks out to the mound now to have a chat with Dunston. Ryan right now just seems to be looking and searching for that one big hit that just might get him on a little bit of a roll.
Good time for it right now. Been choking up a little bit these days.
2-2. Rayburn has worked himself back into the count. This rally started with a 2-out double by Peralta. And a walk to Brandon Inge. Tigers coming in tonight at 27-26, one over the 500 mark. Trying to win their third straight game. Again pulled down the left field line. Again foul. Just about the same spot as the last one went.
Hands go back, foot goes forward, foot down. Better timing. It allows you to even pull your hands inside, as he did there.
This will be the 9th pitch coming up in this at bat. Popped up foul back out of play. So at the very least, Rayburn is giving Dunston fits right now. His next pitch will be his 10th in this AB. Scherzer has given up a run, hoping for a little bit of help here in the second. That's in the air toward right, foul ground. Let's see where this one lands. In the glove of Justin Morneau, who makes a nice running play. Tigers threaten, do not score. Tiger Baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. We're going, and Gardenhire just didn't want to have anything of it.
Oh, I'm fine. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Is that what you feel like doing some days?
Yeah, all the time. We're doing fine. You know what? You just got to keep battling. The game goes your way sometimes, and other times it doesn't. And you know what? The only, as they say, the secret to success is work. We have to keep working.
That is why I love Gardenhire. He's just one of the best managers in this game, but he has a great sense of humor as well.
It's great when you come to work with a smile on your face, even though you're struggling as they have been all year long, because the players, they feed off of the manager.
It is 1-0 Twins. They got a run in the top of the second, and here in the third, Matt Tolbert is leading things off.
They have so many guys on the disabled list. They've had to dip down to the minor leagues so frequently this year that some of the guys that they have that are playing obviously wouldn't be playing if they had their everyday lineup.
Well, that is true, and the Tigers went through a lot of that last year. But I mean, you're talking about some big-time names. As the Tigers lost last year, the Twins have lost this year, and namely, of course, Joe Mauer, who is still, I think, a ways away from coming back.
And when Bill Smith, their general manager, built their club this offseason,
that's looped into left field, and it's over the head of Ryan Rayburn. It's going to go all the way to the wall, and Tolbert rounds the back, coming to third. Nope, he's going to hold up. Very wisely heads back to second base, and it's a leadoff double.
And obviously Rayburn got fooled on this ball. He didn't think it was going to travel over his head. He came in about 4 or 5 steps. He realized the ball had some carry on it, and he had to chase it down to the wall, and Tolbert ends up on second base. But just to finish that thought on Bill Smith, their general manager, when their club was built, his bench was built for defensive replacements, pinch runners, those kind of guys, because he already had a lot of thump in his batting order and guys you're not going to pinch hit that much for. So when all these guys went down, a lot of those role players are not offensive minded, were pressed into duty, and that's why they've scuffled.
Well, the Twins last year scored 781 runs. This year they're on pace for 561, which is a huge difference. They've got a chance to get another run here.
Well, Denard Span, he can handle the bats. Depending on how important this run is to them, he'll be bunting, or maybe he'll be swinging.
He's swinging, and he lines it foul.
But by swinging, he is most definitely trying to pull the baseball down toward first base or toward second base. If he hits it hard enough to Cabrera at first base, Cabrera, he has a very good arm. He might try to throw that ball back toward third to get Tolbert out.
Span struck out in the first inning to start the game.
Scherzer threw him an outstanding changeup.
With all the success that Span has had against Tigers pitching over the years, I can't recall too many times where he has bunted his way on for a base hit.
Nope. But that is part of his game, though.
He'll step out against Max. 0-1. Leadoff two-base hit by Matt Tolbert here in the third. Strike called. 0-2. Three hits already for Minnesota, and 2 of those are two-base hits. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Minnesota struggles we've documented, they will record the second highest loss total through the month of May in franchise history, regardless of whether or not they win here tonight, the final day of May. And the 1-2. Foul back out of play. Scherzer started this one quickly, getting a 1-2-3 first. He got a couple of outs in the second, and then the Twins struck quickly. Double and a single. And again, the 1-2. Nope, he's going to bluff to second base. Span, a former #1 pick of the Minnesota Twins in the early 2000s. He's out of Tampa Catholic High School, where he was an outstanding football player as well. He was born in Washington, D.C., is 27 years old. way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A few years ago when they had Carlos Gomez in their outfield, he was playing center field. Span came up that season, was playing some right field, and he was sensational in his rookie campaign. Therefore, they traded Gomez to the Milwaukee Brewers, which paved the way for Span to play every day in center field. And he has not disappointed Minnesota Twins fans. That Gomez was an electrifying player, though.
There's a little pop-up back at third. Inge will get there in foul ground, and the runner will hold. 1 away. Time to go back to the studio now for a game break. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you. We'll keep our eyes certainly on that one from Rogers Center.
Grady Sizemore not leading off for Maniac. He's batting down in the lineup these days.
Brantley leading off?
Yes, he is.
He's turned into a nice player.
He has.
There's a strike called on Alexi Casilla.
We've always thought that Grady and his skill set would work a little bit better lower in the lineup for Cleveland. Run producing, spot in their lineup.
The question is, have Grady's ladies returned to the ballpark now that he's back?
If those legs stay healthy, those girls will return.
The 0-1 is swung on and missed. It'll get away from Martinez, advance the runner. Tolbert to third base.
Grady ain't the only guy with ladies. You see we got our own Fox girls these days?
Yes, I did, actually.
They intro us at the beginning of the game.
They were up in the booth the other night.
They did make a little pit stop by here.
They were fawning all over you.
No, negative.
Casilla unable to hold up on that one. So the wild pitch advances the runner. Tolbert now just 90 feet away.
What's with all the birds out in the outfield here today?
We've got some friends that are now parked in the outfield surrounding Austin Jackson.
Walking around like they own the place.
That's in the air to center. Here comes Jackson. The birds are scattering. Runner tags and scores.
Wild pitch costly there by Scherzer, allowing Tolbert to get over to third, and Alexi Casilla does a pretty nice job of getting something up in the strike zone and hitting that sacrifice fly deep enough for Tolbert to score.
2-0 Minnesota, and Casilla gets his 7th RBI, not to mention a bunch of high fives. There's Justin Morneau. Well, you've got a left-handed batter up there, and the Birds decide to move to right center.
It's a huge hole in left center field. Raber not moving, at least right now, over with Jackson.
Big swing.
Usually when that center field moves, you as the left fielder have to move a little bit too. It's a huge hole out here. And when Morneau was right, he would hit the ball in that direction.
And the 1-1. That is off the glove of Martinez. 2-1.
But these days right now, Morneau just not all that confident in the batter's box and tends to be very rotational with his upper half, and he's rolling over a lot to first base and to the second baseman.
So many things going on with Justin Morneau right now, and certainly you don't want to make excuses for Morneau, but his numbers not near what they should be. But he missed the entire season of workouts recovering from that concussion. And he pulls this one high in the air, deep into right field, and this one will go. It's out of there. A home run for Justin Morneau. He clobbered that one on a line, and it's now 3-0 Minnesota.
That is a welcome sight for the Minnesota Twins. He got himself in a pretty friendly hitter's count, and Scherzer threw him a changeup, 3-1 or something off speed. It's a changeup, and it really doesn't do a whole lot. And with one hand coming off the bat, he's still strong enough to hit that ball out of here.
Third of the year, 18th RBI, 3-0 Minnesota, and a big smile for Justin Morneau. Ball inside to Michael Kadire. Strikeout victim back in the second. Wave and a miss. 1-1. Max now has given up 10 home runs this year, which is tied for 4th most in the American League. Toward right field, slicing away, and that ball will drop foul. One and two. We have seen in this series how versatile Kadire can be. He played second base in yesterday's game. He's back out in right field for this one.
Well, it's going to bode well for Michael as he gets older and continues to want to play. His value someday may be as a utility man. He's pretty much playing like he's a utility man right now for Gardenhire, but he's in the lineup every day.
He's played third base, played the outfield, he's played second base.
First.
Yeah, first as well. Does that give him any added value if someone's looking to trade for him?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The 1-2. Swinging a foul tip. I mean, you're talking about a utility man basically that has pretty good power numbers that you don't usually see in utility players. Although this season has not been a particularly good one for Kadire. He's got 5 homers but only 13 RBIs so far. Two and two. Max gave up 1 in the second, 2 here in the third. It's 3-0 Minnesota. Now the Birds have moved to left field. So they are moving to the pull field of every different hitter. The 2-2. Skied in the air to center. Jackson cruising over. And that is that for Minnesota. They get a couple of runs, and we go to the bottom of the third. By the Big Mac. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and then the player's uniform number to 37338. That's 37338. Or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. We'll have the final results during the Tigers live postgame. So we'll see if any candidates emerge here in the third inning. Tigers down by 3 now. Dunsing goes to work on Danny Worth and Austin Jackson and Casper Wells. Danny batting .270 with Toledo this year before the call-up. He's 0 for 2 in a Tiger uniform. Rolls this one left side, deep in the hole. No chance. And Worth has an infield single. And the Tigers have their second hit of this game.
We told you that Tolbert would be playing most of the right-handed hitters to the pull field today, shading them in the hole at shortstop. That's the only reason why he's able to get to this ball, but he can't get up and finish the play because Worth runs pretty well.
Well, it's a good start. Leadoff man is on. Good play by Tolbert to get there.
A couple of years ago, I was calling him the Energizer Bunny.
He did provide a lot of energy.
End of the year, a couple of years ago, when he came up, he was playing all over, playing second base at that time.
Dunsing struck out Jackson in the first. One of 2 strikeouts. The left-hander is recorded. Chopper up the middle, could be 2. Yep, that's Taylor May. There's 1. There's 2. 6-3. Tolbert starting that one.
He couldn't have got a friendlier hop here. The ball bounced right off the plate. 1 hop to the glove, couple of steps. Able to get there in enough time where Danny Worth could not break up the double play.
Here comes Casper Wells with 2 outs. Casper a bounce out in the first. Drives this one to center field. Hit well. Span going back. Still going back. In front of the wall in center field. That's all for the Tigers. 3 in the books. 3-0 mini. By Cottonelle. It is a warm, balmy night here at the ballpark. Glad you're with us. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen. Chris Wazalewski is our producer tonight, and Brian Moss, our director from beautiful Comerica Park. Well, right now it's the Twins 3-0. Jim Thome starting things off. Thome, Valencia, and Young facing Scherzer. Bouncing ball and through into right field. He beat the shift. Danny Worth was out there on the grass and still couldn't get to it. Thome is aboard, leadoff man on, 5th hit of the game for Minnesota. He's going to bring up Valencia, who doubled and later scored a run back in the second. Valencia this year has 5 home runs. He shows bunt and lays it foul.
He did a nice job for them last year when coming up from the minor leagues. Hit over 300. He really solidified that third base position. You talked about his power numbers this year. However, the batting average is not nearly where it was a season ago. But they still feel like they have their third baseman for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and he's hit at really every level he has been at. Starting in high school on to college and in the minor leagues. 0-2. In fact, last year he hit his first major league home run off Zach Greinke. And it was a grand slam. Pretty memorable. Scherzer is ahead here 0-2 with Tomey at first base. Ball high 1-2. Pitch is starting to pile up now for Max. He's thrown 51, still in decent shape, but he's had a couple of innings, the second and the third, in which he's thrown a few. And the 1-2. Got him, strike three. Scherzer has a strikeout. That would be his third.
Rick Knapp talked about the fastball command would be key tonight for Scherzer. And he'd be pleased with that last fastball. It was firm. It was 94. It was at the knees.
We're talking about how Lloyd McClendon kind of lives and dies with his hitters. The same with Rick Knapp and his pitchers. You know, these coaches, especially the hitting coach and the pitching coach, they're so close to their performers, their players, that you're right. I think sometimes they take it personally when they don't do well.
They also have number 10 down there barking at him all the time, too. Don't think he's not.
No, you're absolutely right, which gives you another layer of frustration sometimes.
Don't think he's not.
Or pressure. 1-1. It seems like such an easy job, doesn't it? I mean, just kind of hanging out in the dugout, watching a ball game. There's so much more to it than that. That's popped up. Inge coming hard toward the railing, but has no room. 1-2.
It's a slider there by Scherzer. Doesn't really do a whole lot. But the fact of the matter is he has shaved about 4 miles per hour off his slider. Last year it was about 86 miles an hour. That was 82. And he's gotten some guys fooled and out in front, especially the right-handed batters.
Swing and a miss. Delman Young is out of there. 4 strikeouts for Max.
82 with the slider, and then he comes back with a changeup at 82 miles an hour.
Now Rene Rivera, who flied to center field his first time up. He shoots this one in the air to center. Jackson cruising over. Inning over. Leadoff single by Jim Thome. No damage. They strand him.
have gathered together in the Arizona desert for one spectacular night, this summer's biggest event, as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix at 8 p.m. Eastern on your local Fox station.
Well, some candidates for the Tigers, maybe Cabrera, maybe Verlander, who knows?
Maybe Peralta, maybe Avila.
Be nice.
They got some nice candidates this year.
Bosch got jammed. Dunsing beats him to the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out. It's been kind of easy for Dunsing. He had a 5-pitch third, and now he gets an out with a pitch here in the 4th. He's going to bring in Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera flied out his first time up. Hit went a long way, about 400 feet to center field for an out.
Cabrera told me before the game today, while he was taking batting practice, that he is starting to inch his way back to his normal stance. He's not as pronounced with the opening of that front foot as he was a few days ago.
So he's not doing it all at once.
No. And if you notice, when he does take his step, when he does come back with his front foot, now both feet are even. He's not closing his stance off as he was when he was struggling there for a minute. And it was just a minute.
2-0 on Cabrera. Cabby, a 12-game hitting streak. He's got a couple of home runs in his career against Dunsing. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike, 2-1.
Told me yesterday that fastball that he got tailing down and in from Blackburn early in the game, he said he was looking for that pitch. He wasn't trying to hit a home run, but he was looking for the fastball inside. He got it, didn't miss it.
On the outer edge, and it's 2-2. Dunsing gave up a double to Peralta and a walk to Inge in the second, but aside from that has not been in much trouble to this point.
Cabrera took a 2-1 fastball there. He was looking for something else. Here's that home run I was talking about, a 2-seam fastball from Blackburn down and in, and watch him pull his hands in nicely, and he just whistled that one into the bullpen.
Brute strength. The 2-2. 3-2. Martinez in the on-deck circle. And a swing and a miss. Two outs. By the way, spend 3 days playing baseball at Comerica Park with former Tigers players and coaches during the Field of Dreams weekend, September 16th through the 18th. If you'd like more information, call 313-471-2550 or visit Tigers.com. It's the Field of Dreams camp. Boy, that sounds like fun.
A weekend at Comerica Park.
I would ask you if you're involved in that, but you can't be because you're working games, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll probably be on the road somewhere.
Here's Martinez. Strike 1. Victor is 0 for 1, a ground out. Off the end of the bat, foul, 0-2. 7 hits on the homestand for Victor Martinez. Average hovering around 300. He's at 296. Former Indian, former Red Sox, and now current Tiger. And the 0-2. Driven down a left field line. Fair ball. And it'll go to the wall. Martinez has extra bases. He motors to second and is in with a 2-out double.
Really nice bat speed there by Victor Martinez on the 0-2 fastball by Dunsing that he didn't quite get where he wanted it to get.
Victor running hard. Had a double all the way. 12th two-bagger of the year now for Martinez. And an opportunity now for Johnny Peralta. He himself had a 2-out double in the second, but did not score.
Johnny hitting .307. Tigers 4-5-6 have been good all year, really. Cabrera, Martinez, Peralta.
Johnny is a career, when you average out all those numbers, .263 big league hitter. The 1-0, and that's rolled foul.
I would say they're getting a really nice return on their investment then right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Peralta.
You know, and give the Tigers some credit too. They saw enough toward the end of last season where they felt that they wanted Johnny to be part of the plans this year.
Johnny wanted to be a Tiger too, because as you remember, they didn't pick up his option, which had more money this year in the option. They tore it up and they gave him 2 years at a little bit less money. So it's a win-win for both parties.
1-2. He's been a winner on the field this year. Off to a great start. Johnny now has hit safely in 9 straight games. Trying to pick up Victor Martinez here in a 3-0 game in the fourth. And the 1-2. Just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Peralta. Johnny gaining on Eric Ibar, batting .308, the top average among shortstops. Scherzer, meanwhile, hoping for some help. And now Rivera heads out to the mound. Same 2 teams here tomorrow, and then it's on to Chicago after an off day. Thursday off day. And boy, we were looking at that June schedule with those makeups we have with all the rainouts. They're going to be playing some mean stretches, I guess.
What did you total up? 37 games in 38 days?
Yep. That's a couple of those off days were lost because of the rainouts. Swing and a miss, and Dunsing strikes him out. That'll end the inning. 4th strikeout of the game for Dunsing. On to the 5th we go. Players to hit a home run over the left field grandstand at Tiger Stadium. There were 4 that did it. And the old Tiger Stadium is still standing.
Left field grandstand.
Left field grandstand. Could Willie Horton be one?
Could be.
He certainly had the power to do it.
They're throwing us off, though. Willie was up in our booth before the game talking about how heavy a bat he used to use, 38 ounces.
So you're not buying that as a hint?
I'm not going to buy that one.
Okay. Here's Matt Tolbert. He drives one to right field on a line and caught by Casper.
Tolbert first pitch swinging on both of his at bats here tonight. Doubled his first time up.
Top of the order now, Denard Span. Span a strikeout to pop up. One on Denard. He is now 1 for 14 against Tigers pitching this year. Here's the 0-1. Tigers coming into this one had defeated Minnesota 7 consecutive times dating back to last year.
Who would have thunk that, the way that Minnesota used to spank us?
Especially in the Metrodome days. It was just never any fun going into that park. The 1-1. 2-1. Scherzer allowed 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Bouncing ball to third. A stab there by Inge. Got it. Wow.
You have to have some really good instincts and quick reflexes at that third base position, drawn in, and he slices one down at you, one step in a dive. He gets to his feet quickly and accurately throws the ball across the diamond to get a speedy runner. One step and a dive. Nicely done.
2 gone here in the 5th, and Scherzer is in search of his first 1, 2, 3 innings since the first inning. There's Casilla. Alexi takes low. Sac fly, RBI back in the third. Otherwise 0 for 1. A little bit outside there. 2-0. Casilla began his career in the Angels organization. And he pops this one in the air to shallow right. Casper Wells on a charge. He'll get there in a 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Scherzer. Tigers baseball presented tonight by Bell Tire. AT trivia question again. Can you name the 4 players who hit a home run over the left field grandstand at Tiger Stadium? You just saw Harmon Killebrew do it.
He buggy whipped that thing out of here. Did you see that?
He sure did. And here are the other guys. as you might expect, really big dudes. There's a base hit to left for Brandon Inge.
He buggy whipped that too.
Leadoff single here in the 5th inning.
It's a fastball that's away, and Brandon's able to reach out, and he drilled that ball right past Valencia.
Inge is having some pretty good bats in this series. He had a hit, a steal, and a walk in yesterday's game, a walk and a base hit in today's game.
Good numbers against Dunsing, too. You brought that up earlier.
And getting better and better. There's a ground ball left side, base hit for Ryan Rayburn. He found a hole. That'll put the first 2 Tigers on. I'm going to show you that answer to the trivia question again. Inge had that quick hit. They were Killebrew, Frank Howard, Mark McGuire, and Cecil Fielder.
Some big, strong, physical, right-handed bats.
None of those are a surprise. So the first 2 men are on here now, and Danny Wirth will step in. Tying run at the plate here in a 3-run gain. Danny takes ball 1.
Did you know Danny Wirth won a batting title playing summer ball in the Northwoods League?
Did not.
Hit 344. I believe it was 2006. Hit 344 and won a batting title.
Wow. I do know this. He went to a school where I would never get any studying done if I went there. Pepperdine. That'll go foul.
You'd have been hanging out on the beach?
Well, we told the story last year, yes, to answer your question, but we told the story last year that Pamela Anderson is a big Pepperdine baseball fan, and she would go to a lot of the games.
Really?
In fact, her sons were bat boys for Pepperdine, and Danny Wirth said we'd see her there all the time.
I think I'd have been a season ticket holder.
Whether you wanted to or not. Whether you liked the game or not. And the 1-1.
I'd have had to dip in them old piggy bank.
Yeah.
See if I could get some tickets.
Well, now Pam Anderson would go to a lot of games, but Danny said he would also see Adam Sandler there and Phil Jackson.
Well, they all live in Malibu.
Right.
They're all up in that area.
Malibu's kind of upscale, isn't it?
Malibu is really nice, buddy.
Here's the 1-2.
When I was in high school, Malibu did not have a high school. So all the kids that lived in Malibu got bused to Santa Monica every day.
Really?
So that meant on Friday and Saturday nights, guess what? We bust up to Malibu.
Oh, okay.
And you know the rest is history.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of fun to be had.
Oh, my goodness.
The 2-2. Got him. Strike 3. Danny Wirth is out of there. And another strikeout for Dunsing, his 5th. Good pitch. 1 gone. And now the top of the order, Austin Jackson. Austin bounced into a double play back in the 3rd. 0 for 2. Strike 1. Jackson now 1 for 5 in the series. We're mentioning that Dunsing played his college ball in Nebraska. Back in 2005, they went to the College World Series. And they had a really good team. Also on that team was Jabba Chamberlain and Alex Gordon.
Really?
Really good team. College World Series bound. There's a strike called, and now it's 1-2 on Jackson. And in fact, Dunsing was the ace of Nebraska's staff. He had Tommy John surgery, which kind of derailed his college career for a time. He had the surgery in 2004. Casper Wells waiting on deck. In the air to right field, shallow. Kadire coming on, can't get it, base hit. Ainge rounding third. He'll come around. The throw not in time.
As Hawk Harrelson would say, the dirt snort down the right field line by Austin Jackson.
And his 14th RBI.
He couldn't have taken the ball in his hand and thrown it out there any better than the placement of this base hit.
Kadire with a strong throw, but it was tardy, and now Casper Wells. Tigers have 6 hits. They finally get on the board. Wells 0 for 2, ground out, fly out. And he drives one to the gap in left center field. That ball is hit well, and it's up and over the wall. 1 run will score, and they will send Jackson back to third. It's an RBI double for Casper.
Casper has been swinging early and often tonight against Dunsing. His last time up, he flew out to the base of the wall in center field. That time he got a little hanging breaking ball that Dunsing tried to backdoor him with, and Wells wasn't having any of that.
And all of a sudden it's a 3-2 game. Still only 1 out, 2nd and 3rd. Tigers coming alive against Dunsing here in the 5th. 7 Detroit hits. Bosch is 0 for 2.
Relax, Brennan. Relax and get a good pitch to hit.
The guy on deck does take a couple of deep breaths.
That he does. He knows how to slow the game down. Jim was talking about this in his office today. Some of his players are just really, really young, and in these types of situations, sometimes the game just a little bit too fast for them.
It gets away from Rivera, but not far enough. Well, we saw evidence of that yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Bases loaded, nobody out. They couldn't get a run into the 7th.
And a couple of the guys that made outs in that inning were really young guys.
One ball, 1 strike on Brendan Bosch. 3-2, Twins lead. 2nd and 3rd for the Tigers. Bouncing ball towards short. Tolbert comes up with it. He'll throw to third and throw it away into the dugout. 2-run score. And the Tigers have taken the lead.
Tolbert made a mistake here. He should have taken his out at first base. But he pressed the issue trying to get the ball to Valencia, throwing on the run. A bad throw. And the Tigers have now, and they're in business.
And it found a hole in the screen right by the Tigers dugout, the area where you walk down into the dugout, so the ball went in there instead of bouncing off that screen. Tigers have a 4-run inning, and they lead for the first time in this game. Fielder's choice, RBI E6. While they talk it over on the mound, we remind you it's a Fox Sports Detroit Prize Pack Tuesday, brought to you by Meyer. Text Meyer to 37338 to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack that any baseball fan would love. Meyer, higher standards, lower prices. Well, what a dramatic turnaround in this inning. Tolbert's throwing error scores a couple. And now you've got your big fella up there with only one out, the man at second base. He's not going to bat.
It's a good move by Gardenhire, playing for a double play here. No disrespect to Victor Martinez. We put his numbers up earlier and the damage that he does against left-handed pitching. But Gardenhire is hoping that Dunston can get a ground ball and get a double play and get himself out of this jam.
Intentional walk number 11 on the season for Miguel Cabrera. That's a baseball high.
As a matter of fact, opposing managers have told me lately that they have to think twice about walking Cabrera these days because of the protection that number 41 provides for him.
Well, let's see if Victor can make him pay here. So Martinez is introduced. "11 intentional walks. Bautista of Toronto has 7. Victor had a double his last time up. This is the 8th batter that Dunston will face here in the 5th inning. He was cruising along. Ball 1. Tigers have Bosch at second. They have Cabrera at first. And the 1-0. Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. 83 pitches now for Dunston. Casper Wells a big RBI double in this inning. Jackson an RBI single. King the comeback. 1-2 on Victor. Action in the bullpen now. Anthony Slamo starting to warm up. That's outside. I think we were talking about this yesterday, Rod. This Minnesota team, it used to be where they had 3 or 4 names that would always come out of the bullpen. You were expecting them out of the bullpen. These days, the names are totally different.
That much is true. Guerrier is gone. He went to L.A. Jesse Crane is gone. We'll see him in a couple of days in Chicago. Joe Nathan is on the disabled list.
It's a different crew down there. 2-2. Dunston struggling for the first time in this game. A 4-run 5th. Martinez the 8th man to bat in the inning. And now time called, and apparently Dunston and Rivera, they've been doing this all night. They have had issues.
When this game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live as we bring you all the highlights, reaction, and analysis. Tigers Live from the Coliseum Studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit. Mickey York hanging out in the Coliseum Studios tonight.
The very capable Mickey York.
He looked nice and tan when I saw him on Tigers Live earlier. He must have had a really nice weekend.
Hanging out on the boat, maybe?
Must have been. Must be nice.
The 2-2 is inside. 3-2. So the count is full. You got Peralta waiting on deck.
Jim probably is not going to be afraid to start the runners here. 3-2 with Martinez in the batter's box. Martinez doesn't strike out all that often, and if he does happen to strike out, expect Rivera, the catcher, to throw the ball to second base to try to get Cabrera on the back end of this double steal possibly.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And the runners go, and a ground ball fair inside the bag. Bosch coming around to score. Cabrera chugging to third base. He gets the held side, but he's coming through, and he is going to be out. Gene Lamont held him up, but he ran right through it.
He's going to get a ticket for that.
Bosch scores to make it 5-3.
And Cabrera does not have the type of speed that would allow him to score from first base on this ball that gets down the left field line. Young gets over there, he gets to it, he gets to the cutoff man, and Rivera able to tag Cabrera trying to get in with that left leg. Lost in all that was the pitch that Victor Martinez hit. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It was off the dirt.
Did Rivera have the ball in the glove or his hand?
I didn't really notice.
I think he had it in his hand and tagged him with the glove.
Well, he should be safe then if you pick that up.
Yeah, let's see. There's the pitch. Wow. He did pick that one off the dirt.
That's why Jim wasn't afraid to start the runners in that situation.
Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Let's see. The ball right now is in his bare hand.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Now let's see if he tags him. I don't think he did.
No.
He should have been safe.
Nope. Umpire couldn't see it though. That's a good pickup though on your part.
Well, too late to do anything about it. Tigers have a 2-run lead. 5-3. Peralta. He's waiting on a 2-0 and he waves and misses. Double RBI, 7-2 on the putout of Cabrera. Johnny is the 9th man to bat in the inning. Might as well bring home Martinez. Driven to center field. Span can't get it. Here comes Martinez to score. It's a double for Peralta. Tigers are pouring it on now.
We talked about Johnny Peralta at the beginning of this series. He does his best work against Minnesota Twins pitching, and he has continued his onslaught against Twinkies pitching here tonight. Second double of the game for Johnny.
So that's going to be it for Dunsing. Wallside Windows pitching change. They go to the bullpen. We'll be back. easy street, but things have fallen apart here.
See, that's what the umpire's looking at. He's on the other side of Cabrera. He really cannot see the fact that Rivera has that ball in his hand. And I appeared. Now, the only question here is his foot in the air? Is his foot in the air when he's tagged by the hand in the shoulder?
Foot down, it appears. Right there.
Not tagged.
Nope. Well, that run did not score, but the Tigers have put up a 6 spot. Anthony Slamma is the new pitcher.
Now here's his numbers at Rochester, AAA. He was having a pretty good season down there, averaging a strikeout per inning. Earned run average not bad, and the opponent's batting average just a shade over 200.
Inge, who started this, will bat for the second time. Similar to walk for Brandon. Six runs, 9 hits for the Tigers. 3 runs, 5 hits for Minnesota. And it's 1-2. Anthony Slamma is 27 years old, born in Orange, California, lives in Garden Grove. Played his college ball at San Diego. Ball high, 2-2.
San Diego State?
Nope, University of.
University? He's an intelligent fellow then.
He majored in sociology.
That's a good academic school.
And he got him, strike 3. Inge is caught looking, but a big inning for the Tigers. 10 men at the plate, and they score 6 big ones. They spread around the wealth as well. Tigers have seized command of this game now as we go to the 6th. Opportunity along with Casper Wells and Alex Avila to visit the John Dingell VA Medical Center and pay a visit to some of our veterans. There was a Wii tournament that was played. By the way, the veterans beat Avila and Casper Wells in the home run hitting contest on the Wii. But it was fun today to visit some of our veterans at the VA Medical Center.
Absolutely.
And we thank them for allowing us to come today and share part of their day with them.
It's a wonderful gesture on you guys' part for sure.
Well, the players were very popular. In fact, we want to send a shout out to John DeYonker, DJ, who we had a chance to visit, one of our veterans. He is a loyal Tigers follower and watcher, and we appreciate you, John, and thanks very much for having us today. I know Alex Avila and I talked afterwards, and we talked about how really rewarding it is to see some of our veterans and take the opportunity to thank them. Morneau is leading things off.
It's always wonderful to give back, even if it is of your time.
I was also talking to Casper Wells before the game, and he told me, he said, you know, my grandfather was a POW in World War II. And I said, I did not know that. And so Casper has a link to our military and our veterans, and he is very appreciative of them. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Morneau. And it's driven down the left field line. Foul. 3-2 the count remains.
Morneau has played long ball here today. It was a solo shot to right field. It was a changeup that a 3-2 count. He went 3-1 count, excuse me. He went out and got it and drilled it.
Three-two pitch is fouled away.
Morneau, one of those guys you just root for. And he's a top-notch pro. Went through a very difficult season last year, as you mentioned, with a concussion. He's a perennial MVP candidate every year when healthy. One of those guys you kind of root for when he's not playing against your team.
Did he go? He did not. Leadoff man on here in the sixth with a walk from Scherzer.
Good call.
So Scherzer given a 6th spot in the 5th inning, trying to hold down the Twins now.
As a matter of fact, last year Morneau was voted in as the starter at the All-Star game in July.
Soft line drive, base hit. That'll get into center field. Morneau trying to take third.
Good
and he'll
base
get
running.
there.
Good base running. Good base running. And when Morneau couldn't play, Cabrera was the starter at the All-Star game. Here come these Twins. Really nice swing here by Kadire, and good base running by Justin Morneau. Running right in the face of Jackson. Jackson didn't take that bait, though. Sometimes you see center fielders throw that ball to third, and then that base runner on first base, he gets to second in scoring position. This way, the double play is still in order for a double play candidate in Jim Thome.
Yeah, big candidate here. Thome a single and a pop-up. And right away, the Twins trying to come right back. Down by 3. High fly ball, center field, backing Jackson up.
Get it in.
Morneau will tag and score. Throw comes back into second base. Sac fly and RBI, and we go back to the studio now with the game break. Here's Mickey York.
Really?
Wow. Thanks, Mick.
White Sox beat Boston yesterday, too. Jake Peavy started for the White Sox. Pitched a pretty good game.
Looks like Verlander started the Red Sox on a little bit of a mini slide here. Pitching the final game in that doubleheader. One strike on Danny Valencia. 6-4 ball game now. 1 out.
And Valencia's grounded into 8 double plays this year.
Danny played his college ball at the University of Miami. In fact, he played first base as a sophomore there. The third baseman when he was there was Ryan Braun, who's gone on to star now with Milwaukee.
He's a really good player.
Braun ended up leaving, was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers, and so Valencia took over at third base once he left.
That 2006 draft, the draft that Ryan Braun is one of the best drafts in Major League history. So many of those guys made it to the show and are starring in the big leagues. They're stars.
The 1-2 is swung out and missed. 5 strikeouts for Max, and that's a big one. 2 gone.
Good location with that breaking ball.
You're not kidding how that 06 draft. Longoria, Kershaw, Lincecum.
Isn't Bruce in that draft too?
Bruce, Scherzer, Draybeck. Pretty big names. 2 outs now. Here's Delman Young. Daniel Barton was in that draft as well. RBI single for Delman Young. He is 1 for 2. Runner goes. Martinez with the throw. It is not in time.
Sometimes you can have perfect footwork, a really good exchange, and make an accurate throw down to second base. Martinez did all 3 of those things, but Cuddyer got way too big a jump, and the combination of the breaking ball from Scherzer didn't allow them to get the out at second base.
That was pretty textbook, wasn't it, on Martinez?
It was.
Yep. 3rd stolen base of the year for Michael Cuddyer. 1-1 on Delman Young. Wave and a miss. 1-2. Tigers fell behind in this one 3-0. They scored 6 on Minnesota in the 5th inning. And the Twins have come back with 1 here in the 6th. Blocked by Martinez, holding the runner at second. Delman Young last year finishing 10th in the MVP voting with the big season he had. Spent some time on the DL this year, which has slowed down his 2011. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Scherzer gets his 6th strikeout of the evening. Twins going to run back. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th.
Like freeze cam, we're going to take you back to last half inning. A double down in the corner. Delman Young comes up, fires a strike to Rivera, the catcher, and he was able to get the call by home plate umpire Paul Emmel, even though the ball was not in Rivera's hands. When the tag was made, the ball was in his hand and not the glove.
Well, we'll see if that turns out to be a big play or not in this game. Right now it's a 2-run spread for Detroit. And the Tigers trying to rebuild that lead now. 6-4. They have the advantage.
And by the way, Coors Light always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, you didn't. A little tardy.
Slam of the right-hander on for his first full inning of work here. And he is facing Ryan Rayburn, 1 for 2, had a single. Fouled straight back, 1-1. Slamma, we mentioned, played his college ball at University of San Diego, but he also played a couple of years in community college at Santa Ana Community College before transferring to San Diego. Pretty good numbers in the minor leagues. In fact, coming into the season, his minor league ERA was 1.95. Over 4 years in the minor. That's pretty good. Strike call, 2-2. Rayburn and then Worth to be followed by Jackson. Slamma's 2-2. Just off the plate, 3-2. Dunsing started, was bounced out in the 5th inning, courtesy of a 6-run 5th. To right field, to the corner comes Kadire. Is there room? Yes, right up against the wall there. Rayburn is out. Now Danny Worth. Worth had an infield single back in the 3rd. Breaking ball, a little bit up and in. I want to know on Danny. Starting at second base in this game, Jim Leland has elected to put Rayburn out in left. Although Rayburn, according to the skip, will be seeing a lot of playing time at second base with the trade of Scott Sizemore, who was assigned to the A's AAA team. There's a strike, 2-1 on Danny Worth.
If you weren't with us earlier, I told you that Danny Worth won a batting title playing in the North Woods League Summer League, Collegiate League in 2006. Andy Dirks also was in the league that year. And Andy still holds the record for getting on base in 52 consecutive games in the North Woods League. Same year, 06.
That's impressive.
They were both talking about it in the clubhouse before the game.
Slow roller toward the shortstop, ranging left, Matt Tolbert. 2 gone.
Hey fans, you want to keep up with the Tigers? You can follow them with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for more details.
You still using that app?
I am. I like that app. You know what I like best about it, though?
What's that?
Is that when we have a rare day game, you can kind of tune in to possibly the next day's opponent's radio broadcast.
Okay.
And just really get a lot of information.
So in other words, steal some information.
Well, you know how that goes. They steal ours too.
Yes, they do. But we're good at it as well. It's kind of a reciprocal service here between announcers.
No doubt.
0-2 on Austin Jackson. Slamma couldn't get him to chase. 1-2. Jackson had an RBI single in the 6-run 5th inning. 1 for 3. One and two, the count stays. Fouled straight back. 92 on the gun from Slamma. And again the 1-2. Stayed away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jose Maharis, the lefty, is warming up.
He is fresh off the disabled list, is Maharis.
Outside again, 3-2. Waiting on deck, Casper Wells. And the 3-2 pitch. In on his hands that time. 3-2 the count stays.
Have you seen what the fighting Gibsons are doing out in Arizona? They are in first place.
They won again, didn't they? Last night?
They are in first place. Gibby and Tram, they've got them boys playing some good baseball out west.
Good for them. We'll see them in interleague play. Just off the plate. 2-out walk for Jackson.
Gibby has to be, at Labor Day, the manager of the year in the National League, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I agree with that, yeah.
Huh?
Absolutely. But, again, it's still very early in the season.
Yeah, but if you look up the history of the game, a lot of those teams that are in first place on Labor Day, somehow they make it to the playoffs. Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, you mean?
Well, Labor Day, you better get in.
Or at least to have a much better shot. Here's Casper Wells. There are a lot of sayings like that. Do you buy into the old Sparky 40 games to let me know how good my team is?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. He was a pretty good manager. He won a World Series in both leagues. Hall of Fame. Kind of hard to argue with Sparky.
Speaking of Arizona and Sparky, when Arizona comes to town, they'll be honoring Sparky Anderson. Oh, he threw that one away. Jackson motoring towards second, maybe beyond. There he goes. He's coming to third. He's in there standing up. Two-base throwing error.
And nothing Morneau could do. And once this ball rolled off the tarp and trickled down into right field, Jackson, with his speed, was going to score easily. Get to third easily. And may have entertained the thought of trying to score after Kadire didn't pick it up cleanly in right field.
Well, they got him to third. Let's see if they can get him in. Wills killed a ball his last time up, but doubled the gap in left center, knocking in his 5th run of the year.
He's hit 2 balls hard today. First time, his second time up, he didn't get rewarded with that deep fly out to center.
0-2 on Wells. Outside, and Rivera almost had that thing sail by him. 1-2. Dunsing started. Slamma came on in the 5th. Max Scherzer has been the recipient of 6 runs on 9 hits tonight. Outside again.
Hey, Max will need some bullpen help tonight, and the Tigers bullpen's in pretty good shape. Furbush is available once again. Valverde is not. Jim said he didn't know who would close for him today if they got themselves in that situation, but I have to believe it would be Joaquin Benoit.
I would agree.
Now, why wouldn't he just tell us that today?
Just, keep you thinking. That's a strike call to the outer edge. Inning over. Casper didn't like it, and he's letting Paul Emmel know about it. We've played 6 here at Comerica. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Camp Day tomorrow at Tim Hortons. Buy a coffee and donate to help send more kids to camp. A little bit cloudy here at the ballpark. Don't think we're under any threat of rain, though. It's a very colorful sky here this evening. And the Tigers are on top in this one 6-4. As we go to the 7th, Max Scherzer drops in a breaking ball to Rene Rivera.
And Scherzer, as far as the ratio in strikes and balls, not bad. He's thrown 85 total pitches. Only 26 have missed the strike zone, which means 59 up until that pitch had been strikes.
Rivera is 0 for 2, a couple of fly balls to center field. With the injury to Joe Mauer currently on the disabled list, the Twins are really struggling to get any kind of offense out of the catching position. Drew Butera was hitting 126, so Rivera was called up from the minor leagues, but he just has not been able to do a whole lot better.
Well, they traded their premium prospect away last year, didn't they?
They did indeed.
The kid they traded to the Washington Nationals in the Matt Capps deal.
And so now they've had to go with the veteran Rivera, who hadn't appeared in a big league game since 2006. The 1-2 just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 95 from Scherzer. Little pop up, shallow right field. Wells will not get there. It's a base hit.
Wilson Ramos is the catcher they traded to the Washington Nationals. Big time prospect because they felt like they had their catcher for the next 10 years in Mauer.
Right. Well, here comes Matt Tolbert. That's the 7th hit of the game for Minnesota. Tigers bullpen starting to work. Tolbert has a double and a run scored. Strike 1. Furbush and Albuquerque. You put them together, what do you get?
Tell me.
Furbuquerque. There's a strike called 0-2.
Now where would that be?
I have no idea. I just made it up. Kind of. 0-2 on Tolbert. Oh, just off the plate.
Maxwell throwing hard here tonight. 96, real firm fastball. Little late life on it. Where was it?
A shade outside. Even though Martinez held it there. That's a strike call. 95, and he blew him away.
Same pitch, same height. That one a little bit more over the plate, and therefore he gets the strike 3 call. But the height on the pitch exactly the same as the previous pitch.
Seven strikeouts for Max. 1 out. Here comes Denard Span. Span hits a ground ball fair over the bag at third base. Rivera holds at second, and Denard has his first hit of the night. That'll be the 8th for Minnesota.
And Ryan Rayburn must have had Span play perfectly in left field for Rivera not to get the third on this play. Let's take a look. Right down the line. Brandon's already made one nice play against Span today. Rayburn gets over and gets on top of that ball in a hurry, and Rivera can't get to third base. Which means Span doesn't get to second base.
So the double play stays in order for Lexi Casilla.
He'll have to hit it hard at somebody. He's got some pretty good speed.
A couple of fly balls, actually 3 fly balls in this game. One of them produced a run. and there's a strike. Especially for Casilla coming out of the left side of the box, too. Really difficult to double him up, but you never know.
Routine bunt in yesterday's game down toward Brandon Inge. And Brandon really didn't take his time, but by the time he got the ball to Cabrera, Casilla was passing the bag for a single.
The 0-1. Bouncing ball hit slowly towards second. Worth has only one play, and that's to get Casilla. And 2 gone.
Don't know for sure if Worth could have gotten Span at second base, but he's a smart player. He didn't want to run the risk of throwing that ball to Peralta and not get that out, knowing that Peralta would not have had time to get the ball back across the diamond. Let's see where he is when the ball gets in his glove.
I think he had time, but that's a split-second decision he had to make. Now, if Morneau comes up with a base hit, he can tie it up. Home run back in the third for Morneau. It was a solo shot into the seats and right. Fouls it straight back, going to 1.
If this is the Justin Morneau that had put up MVP type numbers throughout his career, are they pitching to him here with 2 outs and a base open?
No. Well, no, I still think no. That would put the go-ahead run on here, but no, you're right. If it's the Morneau of last year, probably not. You've got the righty Kadire waiting on deck. That'll get back out of play.
Here's where Leland trusts his pitcher by allowing Scherzer to attack Morneau in this situation.
Oh, and 2. Let's see if he can get Morneau to go fishing here.
Either that or throw some of that easy gas up around the belt buckle or higher at about 95. Changeup.
And he laid off. 1 and 2. 100 pitches for Scherzer. 70 of them strikes. Ooh, way outside. It gets away from Martinez, and a run will score. 6-5 ball game.
That's the second wild pitch of the night by Max Scherzer, and it's kind of helped the Minnesota Twins score a couple of runs. And nothing Victor could do. 96, he got out, got glove on it, but he couldn't catch it. Foxmo gave us a really nice look at it.
So the tying run just 90 feet away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Justin Morneau. Make it 3 and 2. Morneau earlier this year was hampered by the flu, and then he had neck and shoulder injuries in which he received a cortisone shot for. Trying to pick up Span here with the tying run. So really it's been one thing after another for him. Of course, coming back from the concussion from last year. Sends it high in the air to right field. Did he get another one? He did. It's gone. Justin Morneau with a 2-run shot, his second home run of the night, and Minnesota has taken the lead.
Fastball up, drilled by Justin.
And just like that, it's 7-6 Minnesota. The bases are empty for Kadire. 2 homers tonight for Morneau. He's now hit 4 on the year. And the Twins are very encouraged by that. There's a strike call, 1-1.
Well, it's not second guessing, but we did bring it up. when that base was open, do you dare go after him? And Justin made him pay.
1-2. 2 homers, a walk, 3 runs scored tonight for Morneau. And the 1-2. He hit him. Kadire is drilled. And Jim Leland says, let's make a change. Wow, things unraveled quickly here. The Tigers had a 6-3 lead. They are now down 7-6. And that's going to be it for Max Scherzer. Meanwhile, Kadire is feeling it. Pitching change. We step aside. We'll be back. 1-run lead for Minnesota. Each team now with 9 hits, and Charlie Furbush will take over for Detroit.
He has been sparkling in the 2 games that he has pitched. He's pitched a total of 8 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, and the opponent's batting average 148 against Charlie, who was leading the International League with 55 strikeouts before being recalled.
Justin Morneau has just hit a couple of home runs. Last time he did it was against Minnesota last year, but tonight 2 big ones.
Backdoor breaking ball the first time, elevated fastball the second time.
No doubt about it either time. I said Minnesota. He did it against Toronto last year. So Morneau having a big night. His 14th career multi-homer game. And there it is, May 17th at Toronto last year. So the Tigers are now down by 1, still not out of this 7th inning. Furbush will face Jim Thome. RBI and a single for Thome in this game. First pitch in for a strike on Thome. 40 years of age out of Peoria, Illinois, Jim Thome. Marching towards 600 career home runs. Oh, 2. Thome this offseason had a chance to sign with the Texas Rangers. They actually offered him more money, but he decided he wanted to remain with Minnesota. A little bit closer to his home in Illinois.
Texas Rangers are probably happy that Thome decided not to go there because Michael Young's been one of their better offensive players this year.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Furbush comes out of the pen and strikes out a guy that's going to end up with 600 homers. Nice job, Charlie. Fought a big inning, and Minnesota has taken the lead. Here is our Comerica game summary tonight, with Minnesota jumping back on top of the Tigers 7-6. Justin Morneau, a couple of home runs in this game. Martinez and Peralta, 2 doubles each and an RBI each. And the Tigers' big inning tonight was their 6-run 5th inning. That briefly gave them the lead, but Minnesota is charged back in front. We'll see if the Twins bullpen can hold it now. Jose Mijares will come on for Slamma.
Now, he spent some time on the disabled list this year. His numbers are not Mijares-like numbers. He's been a really good performer out of that bullpen the last couple of years for Ron Gardenhire. 11 walks in 11 2/3 innings.
Bosch leads it off. Well, see if he starts walking Tigers here. He's facing the middle of the lineup, 3, 4, and 5. Almost hit him. 1-1. Mijares, a native of Caracas, Venezuela. 47 appearances out of the pen last year, 71 the year before that out of the Minnesota pen.
His numbers were really good that year. He pitched in 71 games.
He had a 2.34 ERA 2 years ago. He's ahead here, 1-2. Oh, that was close. 2-2 on Brennan Bosch. Drilled to center field, base hit. First hit tonight for Bosch. Tying run on.
For whatever reason, Brennan Bosch has done his best work in the time that he has spent in the major leagues against left-handed pitching. Batting average is much higher against lefties than righties. That's a fastball down, drilled right back through the box.
Now Cabrera, who was walked intentionally in the 5th inning. Down the right field line, slicing. Foul ball.
No doubt Bosch would have been able to score on that double down in the right field corner. That's one of the reasons why Jim has him batting in that number 3 spot. That and the fact that Brennan can do some damage too with that bat.
339 from the 7th inning on this year for Cabrera. One ball, one strike. Well, the Tigers have is the only Tiger without one.
Well, let's change that.
Sure would help. And it would also extend Cabrera's hitting streak, which right now is at 12 in a row. Another foul back out of play. 2-2 on Miguel. Victor Martinez will be next. Tigers, by the way, have reached the 10-hit plateau for the first time in their last 8 games. They went through a stretch earlier when they had one of their winning streaks going where they were picking up double-digit hits every night. Bosch has just given them their 10th. And he missed. Now it's 3-2. Crowd's starting to come alive a little bit. 22,649 taking this one in tonight.
It'll be interesting to see what Jim does with the base runner here. 3-2, nobody out.
He's going. Fouled away.
Ugh.
Probably a pretty good combination here to start the runner. You got Bosch that has a little bit of speed. Cabrera, I guess he would trust to put the ball in play.
Bad jump, though, by Bosch.
Was it?
Ugh. Yeah, not good. But you would expect as much, though, with the left-hander on the mound. You can't get picked off. They're simply trying to stay out of a double play.
Running again. High, ball 4. Here come the Tigers now in the 7th. Maharis has given up a single and a walk.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch at how Cabrera was able to coach that walk out of Maharis. First pitch, he sliced down the right field line, almost doubling, and Bosch would have scored. Every single pitch, Cabrera taking the inside-out approach, trying to hit the ball the opposite way until he finally gets the elevated fastball for ball 4.
So here is Victor Martinez, tying run at second base, go ahead run at first. It's already been a big night for Victor, a couple of doubles.
Victor, his last time up with runners on first and second and on the run on the pitch, he took a breaking ball down and in off the carpet from Dutson and doubled in one run. Of course, Cabrera was thrown out at home plate. Take a look at the location of the pitch, though. This ball is down, getting ready to bounce, and he goes down to get it.
Tigers tonight are 4 for 10 with men in scoring position. Cabrera at first base, Bosch at second base, nobody out. And Maharis has to deal with Martinez, then Peralta waiting. That's a foul ball. Oh, he almost snuck it in there. Martinez uses foul line to foul line.
This is the pitch I was talking about that he hit with the runners on the move that was down. And that ball was getting ready to bounce, and Rivera was getting ready to pick it out of the dirt, and somehow Martinez got a double out of that pitch.
Take another one of those. 2-1.
Maharis has already bounced a couple of breaking balls up there to Cabrera when he was in the batter's box. If he should bounce another one, Brennan Bosch needs to make sure he gets a pretty good jump off of second base to get to third, and Cabrera, of course, would have to follow him down to second.
Two and two on Victor. A back and forth ball game all night long. Tigers fell behind 3-0. They took the lead 6-3. Minnesota jumped ahead 7-6. And now the Tigers attempting to answer. We've had 19 hits between the two teams in this game. High fly ball center field and hit well. Span, though, has room. Bosch will tag up. He's coming to third base, and he'll get in there standing up. So Martinez pushes that runner down just 90 feet away from home plate.
It's a productive out. He'll get some high fives when he gets back to that dugout.
Johnny Peralta getting set to stand in. 2 doubles tonight for Johnny. And now 30 RBIs. Fouled away 0-1. Maharis pitched for 7 years in the minor leagues for the Minnesota Twins before he got his first chance to pitch in the big leagues in 2008. We mentioned his 71 game performance a couple of years ago. Had an elbow strain last year, which limited his appearances. Driven high in the air toward left center field. Span coming over. He'll make the catch. Runner tags. And Bosch will come in to score. Johnny Peralta has his second RBI tonight. Tie game. The seesawing continues. 31 RBIs for Johnny. Two outs now for Brandon Inge. Inge on base twice tonight, single and a walk. He batted twice in the 6-run fifth. One and one on Brandon. That's in there. 1-2. Twins pitching is still dead last in the American League, a 4.80 ERA. And tonight they've given up 7 runs on 10 hits. One-two. On the ground, through a base hit. Cabrera goes to second. Brandon Inge is starting to heat up a little bit now. 2-on-2 out. Time now for the Farmers Insurance report card tonight. On this date in 1869, the first rainout involving a professional baseball team occurs between the Red Stockings of Cincinnati and the Antioch Nine. We're all familiar with the Antioch Nine. And teams with 4 postponed games this year, well, the Tigers are among them. We've had a very, very wet spring. So another pitching change here at Comerica Park. Will step aside in a 7-7 game.
You can get comprehensive coverage of the Tigers anytime at foxsportsdetroit.com. Get the latest news, exclusive videos, expert commentary, photo galleries, and much more. Follow the Tigers at foxsportsdetroit.com. Pretty cool website.
Well, the Tigers have tied it up 7-7, and Maharis with a little snappage in the dugout. Is that bubble gum? It's all over the floor right now. Clean up on aisle one. Meanwhile, it'll be Phil Dumatre taking over. And he'll be facing Ryan Rayburn with 2 men on here and 2 men out.
Dumatre pitched in yesterday's game as well, now pitching in his 8th game for Ron Gardenhire.
So one lefty takes over for another, and a swing and a miss. Ryan tonight is 1 for 3, singled, scored a run in the big 5th inning in which the Tigers scored 6 times. Cabrera represents the go-ahead run. Inge is at first. Outside and low, 1-1. Johnny Peralta's sac fly has tied this one up. One and 2 on Rayburn. That one just missed. 2-2 on Ryan. Inning started with a single by Bosch, a walk to Cabrera. Martinez's fly ball advanced the runner to third base, and then they got him in with a sac fly. Rayburn stays alive. Down the right field line. Kadire has room, and that is that. So the Tigers settle for 1 run. They tie it up. We go to the 8th. The Tigers have tied it up. They have 11 hits in this ball game tonight. And so as we get ready for the 8th inning, how about some news and notes around the big leagues? Did you see where Joakim Soria blew another one last night?
Struggling this year.
He has been removed as the KC closer. How about that? Pujols and Tulowitzki are leading the National League voting, which was just announced today. Our first sampling of voting. The AL should be announced tomorrow.
Two popular players.
Al Albuquerque now is the new pitcher for Detroit.
28 strikeouts in 16 and a third innings this year for Albuquerque. Sparkling numbers as far as, but he also has 11 walks, and that's way too many for 16 innings, and that's one of the things that he needs to improve on.
Well, Danny Valencia leads it off. Ooh, look out, Albuquerque. Come under his chin.
He's got a little bit more than that, too. He'll get up to 97. And he's got that unbelievable slider.
There it is. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's really unhittable, but it's very difficult for some right-handed batters to lay off of. Some of your veteran right-handed batters, they don't swing at it. They simply stand up there and keep the bat on their shoulder, because very seldom does he really throw it for a strike. Wow. There's that 97.
Yikes.
Get that goat head out of that
glove. What? Explain that one.
I don't. That's just old saying, man. Get the goat head out. When the ball pops in, pops out like that.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. There it is again. 2-2. Valencia, Young, and Rivera here in the 8th. Tigers 7 runs, 11 hits. Twins 7 runs, 9 hits. So now it's 3-2 on Valencia.
Well, if you're Valencia, you pretty much know what you're going to get. You know you're going to get that slider. But he also has 97 with his fastball, which means you really can't wait around that long deciding whether it's going to be a slider or not, because that fastball will be by you. So we'll see how Valencia does here.
He took it for strike 3, the slider. He thought it might have been a little bit up.
I think that's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, I agree. First out of the inning. And they'll bring up Delman Young.
Tigers bullpen starting to sort itself out, though. Starting to perform a little bit better with some of the moves that have been made in the last 10 days or so. Furbush has been good. Adam Wilk was good in his outing. He was sent back to the minor leagues. David Percy has been good, and Benoit starting to get some things sorted out in the bullpen.
Well, it has been their #1 issue. And to see especially the young guys kind of step in and help straighten it out is really nice. Albuquerque has gone through stretches where he's unhittable and other stretches where he has scuffled a bit. But the bullpen on this homestand has been good. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Young is retired.
You can tell him it's coming, and it'd still be very, very difficult to hit.
You know, the thing about this slider is guys are missing this by a foot. 2 outs. Here is Rene Rivera. 1 for 3 tonight, singled and scored a run in the 7th. Another wave and a miss, 1-1. That time, a 97-mile-an-hour heater. Schlereth is tuning up in the Detroit bullpen. Strike call. 1-2. It's like they don't know what to expect now.
No.
Oh, 99 for Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. Now, where in the world does he get 99 miles an hour in that frame?
I don't know. So it's 3-2 on Rene Rivera. Tigers pitching tonight has rolled up 10 strikeouts. They've had 3 in a row from the bullpen. Three-two pitch. Popped up. First base side for Cabrera. Has room. Inning over. A 1-2-3 inning for Albuquerque.
Time for our Home Depot doing more on defense. Back in the 5th inning, Denard Span making a bid for a base hit, hitting the ball just a step to the left of Brandon Inge. He's able to dive, get to his feet quickly, and record the out.
Nice play by Inge, who's always doing more on defense. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers now trying to break this tie. 7-7 is our score. Tigers also trying to move 2 games over the 500 mark.
I don't know if Danny Wirth is entertaining the thought of doing so, but he can bunt for a base hit down that third baseline. He has the ability to do so. Need base runners.
It'll be Wirth, and then the top of the order, Austin Jackson and Casper Wells. The 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strikeout, Danny. Infield single back in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. DeMatre took over in the 7th inning after Maharis got into some trouble. Got the final out of the 7th. High and away, 2-1. 2-2 on Danny Worth. There's Jackson waiting on deck. And a 2-2. Lifted back out of play. Worth this year had 3 home runs down at Toledo. Not really a big power hitter, obviously, but he can go deep. Well, there's the answer to your question. Benoit would close, I suppose. Tigers hoping to get a run here in the 8th. There's the 2-2. There's a base hit right field. Danny Worth goes the other way. And the go-ahead run is on. So that brings up an interesting scenario now. Does Austin Jackson bunt here?
Absolutely. He's got 6 this year.
Valencia coming to the grass. There you have it. 6 sac bunts, 2 bunt hits.
And if he is bunting, he wants to go down in this direction toward Morneau, who has a job to do by holding on Danny Worth. You want to keep it away from Valencia on the other side.
And he lays one down right back of the pitcher. They'll try and get the out at second, and it's safe at second base. The ball was in the dirt.
It's a bad decision by Dumatre. It's a bad decision. Although it appeared that he could get the force out at second base, it's too risky. And he's lucky the ball hit Danny Worth, or it would have been in center field, and Worth would be standing on third base. That is way too risky. I don't even know if he's out if it's a good throw.
No, I think you're right. And on the replay, look how quickly he rushed this. He knew he had little time.
Gene Lamont talking to Casper Wells right now, and we do know this much about Casper Wells. Bunting is really not part of his game.
Sacrifice in a fielder's choice.
In case you're wondering, Casper Wells, he has no sacrifice bunts in the majors this year.
Well, just in case Valencia is on the grass, and he's going to square. And he lays one down to third. Nicely done.
Perfect.
Wow. Casper. Sac bunt. Can't do it much better than that.
No, you can't.
Serious high fives after that one.
I don't think Dumatre thought he was bunting because he threw him a breaking ball.
Yep.
Usually in a situation where you know a guy's up there bunting, you throw a fastball up and you hope he bunts the ball in the air. He threw him a breaking ball, and it was right down the middle.
So Wells, along with Jackson, with back-to-back sack bunts. Second and third, and one out. More activity in their bullpen.
Left-handers galore.
Chuck James. That was the first major league sack bunt for Casper Wells.
First for everything. Brennan Bosch, his last time up, he singled sharply off Mahars. It was right back up the middle. Mahars is a left-hander. Bosch does decent work against left-handed pitching. Infield in for Ron Gardenhire.
One and 0 on Bosch. On Bosch. Hear those updated splits on Brennan. You talk about this. He's just been much better against lefties.
He concentrates a little bit more, obviously, against the left-hander as a left-handed batter. If you're going to hit 300, you got to keep the front shoulder in there as long as possible. And you have to realize most of the time they're going to try to get you out of the way. Most of the time. Way
inside. Now 3-0 on Bosch.
Gardner walking around. Nothing he could do. Not a thing he could do right now to help Dumontre.
He's taking strike call. Twins have been outscored in the 8th inning this year, 51-24. Tigers got the winning run yesterday in the 8th. This has been a problem for them. High fly ball, right field. Kadire backing up. Worth tagging up, and Kadire will send the ball back toward third base. Sac fly, RBI. Tigers lead.
Quality at bat.
Bosch's second RBI of the night.
Jim talked about some of his younger players in this situation with runners on third, less than 2 outs. Some just kind of press. But that was a quality big league at bat by Brennan. 3-1 count. He got something up in the strike zone and lofted it into right field deep enough for the sac fly.
Cabrera giving another intentional pass, his second of the night. There you go. The 8th inning has been a really big problem for Ron Gardner's team. A 28-run differential.
Well, we talked about that a couple of innings ago. Guerrero is no longer here, and Jesse Crane is no longer here. Those were the guys that were pitching the 8th inning for Gardner for the last 5-6 years.
So Cabrera will get his 12th intentional walk of the year. And it'll set up a chance for Victor Martinez. 8-7 Detroit.
It's the 3rd walk of the day for Cabrera, so they're really just not letting him play tonight.
Well, pick your poison. Here comes Martinez. Victor 2 doubles and an RBI tonight. Be awfully nice to get that insurance run in. Jackson at third and Cabrera at first. Down the middle it comes, strike one. The inning started with a base hit by Danny Worth. That got the rally going. 12 Tigers hits tonight. And the 1-1. The glove of Rivera. Runner will hold though. Three and one on Victor Martinez. Fly ball, right field, not deep. Kadire to end the inning. However, the Tigers take the lead on the Bosch. Sac fly. Benoit will close it out. We hope. Go to the top of the ninth. Tigers get a run in the seventh, run in the eighth. After falling behind 7-6. Now the question is, Joaquin Benoit, can he hold this one down?
Well, he's done some nice work the last week or so, and Jim was commenting on Joaquin Benoit in his office before the game, and he said everybody else in that bullpen is kind of slotted where they need to be because he is kind of taking over that eighth inning role once again. But with Valverde given the night off tonight, it's Benoit that has been called on to close and try to get his second save of the year.
Meanwhile, the guy who made the diving catch to end the game yesterday, Don Kelly, takes over in left. And so Joaquin Benoit goes to work. Tolbert, Span, and Casilla are due up 9, 1, and 2. Matt Tolbert tonight 1 for 3. Had a double, scored a run. And strike one from Joaquin.
Brandon Inge in his ready position down at third base. Should Tolbert try to bunt one down in his direction. Brandon gets set like he's getting ready to start a race.
Swing and a miss.
Nice changeup.
Here's the 0-2. Popped him up. Right field. Casper. One out. Four and a third, no runs, and opponents batting a .133 in his last 5.
A hold and a save in that span too.
I'd say that's pretty good. 2 more outs to get.
A couple of holds.
Here's Denard Span. keep this guy off the bases. He singled, scored a run in the 7th, came around with a 2-run homer by Morneau, who tonight has hit 2 for Minnesota. Denard 1 for 4. And the 1-1. 1-2 on Span. Tigers certainly would prefer a 1-2-3 inning here because Morneau would be 4th. Should somebody get on, he would be in the lurking category. There he is lurking. Slice toward left field. It's a base hit. Span is on. Tying run is aboard. That's his 2nd hit tonight. 1 on, 1 out. And now each team double-digit hits. That's the 10th of the night for Minnesota. The Tigers have 12. Alexi Casilla is 0 for 3. Just missed. Ooh, was that close? Talked about how difficult it is to double up Casilla. He has knocked into 2 of them this year, though. And Joaquin misses outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. Showing bunt. He was taken all the way. Now it's 3-0. It's becoming more interesting by the moment. Tolbert flied out to start the inning. Span has singled. There's Morneau waiting on deck. He walked him on 4 straight pitches. He's going to bring up Morneau.
He's played long ball a couple of times in this ball game tonight. In the 3rd, he went deep, and then he also went deep in the 7th inning. But Benoit is going to get him to ground into his 8th, the double play of the year, and the game will be over.
I would celebrate that big time. How many's hit into?
7 already.
All right. Rick Knapp is out there to have a chat while they discuss how they're going to get Morneau to hit into that double play. We remind you that this copyright telecast presented by the authority of the Detroit Tigers may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers.
And the way you get him to hit that ball on the ground is you kind of speed his bat up with the fastball. Not too good, not anything that he can really get loose on. And then you slow him back down on a breaking ball, change up, you get him to roll over. Game over. See you later.
So Morneau now has gone from lurking status to standing in with 2 men on and 1 man out. And good speed on the bases for the Minnesota Twins.
That closer's role is no joke, is it?
No. I was thinking the same thing. It is just so different. Leland talks about that all the time.
That's why you have to appreciate Jose Valverde.
Morneau looks at strike 1.
Good location.
There's your fastball.
He can't pull that pitch. At 92, you can't pull that. He simply takes it. And trust me, Morneau has gone up there with a game plan. He is sitting on one pitch.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Can't make a better pitch than that. Still got work to do. Fastball 92. Change up at 84. No deceleration in the arm speed.
Popped up. Foul ground. Inge. Out of room. And another souvenir. Congratulations, sir. Morneau now has 4 home runs. He's picked up 3 RBIs tonight, which gives him 20 for the year. Tigers nursing a 1-run lead here in the 9th with runners at first and second. Span got it started with a 1-out single. Casilla then walked on 4 pitches. The end of the bat foul. Morneau barely alive.
4 straight pitches to Morneau. All 4 have been away from him. 1 fastball and 3 changeups.
Kadire waiting on deck. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 gone.
What a pitch. Victor playing games with Morneau, moved in, then moved back outside and got the changeup fading down and away for strike 3. He kind of holds his changeup like a forkball.
That's 11 strikeouts for Tigers pitching tonight. 1 more out to get, though. Here's Kadire. Ball 1. 3 for 9. One of those hits against Benoit is a home run. Albuquerque really wants this one.
He stands to be the winner.
Here's the 1-0. Kadire takes outside. 2-0. Tomey on deck. Tigers went ahead in the bottom of the 8th on a sacrifice fly by Brennan Bosch. Twins trying to rally here in the top of the 9th. 8-7 Detroit. And the 2-0. 3-0 on Michael Kadire.
Pretty close pitch right there.
Kadire has a single tonight. He's also been hit by a pitch. And a strike call, 3-1. 22,000 plus on their feet right now, hoping Benoit can close this one down. It's been a challenge. Little chopper hits slowly back up the middle, and they'll tag the back for the force. Peralta to end the game.
Nice job by Benoit.
He pitched out of a mini jam here in the ninth, a single and a walk, but Peralta gets two big hitters, Morneau and Kadire. And the Tigers make it 2 straight over the Twins in this series. Albuquerque will get the win tonight. Benoit the save. And the Tigers again starting to roll a little bit now as they roll up 12 hits and win it 8-7. Back with more from Comerica Park. Happy totals tonight.